Hey, Colabcoaching here again to share some wise words of wisdom for the week. As I said last week, this is not a new series. It's just a video to talk about a topic that I thought would be interesting to break down a little bit. So, with that being said, the topic I want to talk about today is the pressures in your relationships. Now, we all know that when we step into a relationship, we think that it's gonna be great. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be nothing but happiness, nothing but joy. But in reality, relationships bring pressure. Relationships bring discomfort. Relationships bring miscommunication, and so on and so forth. So the thing that we have to focus on is when we do have those relationship pressures, what do we do about them? The simple answer, and a lot of people's going to say, well, you communicate. Yes, communication is the best thing to do. And I promise you, once you actually have the right communication with your significant other, you'll be able to evaluate things a little bit different because you're able to get the viewpoint from your significant other, and you get to add on to how you've been feeling. You get to express yourself, you get to talk about the issues that you're having, and your significant other can do the same thing, and you'll be able to have solutions that you are able to work on in your relationships. That's beautiful. The problem with that is that a lot of us are not communicating the right way. So when we have those pressures, and let's say for initially you want to have a communication, have a conversation with your significant other, and the first time you give it a try, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out the first time, and you get discouraged. You get discouraged because of the fact that, well, people are saying communication is the key. People are saying that you have to communicate. But when I try to communicate with my significant other, it doesn't work out. We get into arguments. We get into huge disagreements, and it's not healthy for us. It becomes toxic, and it causes our relationship to be toxic. What I'm here to say is that we're gonna deal with pressures. Pressures in relationships are gonna be there. They're gonna be something that you can't really avoid at times. But if you have the right solution to it, I promise you'll be able to resolve any type of pressure that comes with your relationship. And the way to properly communicate your pressures is to start the conversation the right way. The right way to start the conversation is not to come with anger, not to come with malice, not to come with resentment, but to have an open dialogue. Have an open dialogue, an open space, a safe space, as if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it. Having an open environment where your significant other can talk about how they feel, no matter if it hurts you, no matter if you feel offended, this might happen. It's the same thing with you. You're able to come into the environment with the safe space. You're able to come in the environment with the freedom. That's the biggest thing. The freedom to express how you feel. No matter if you know it's gonna hurt your significant other's feelings, at least you're able to express it because this is how you're feeling on the inside. See, what the problem comes, the issue that comes is that when we decide to not talk about it, when we decide to brush it off, when we decide to keep it inside and be keep it internalized for X amount of time because we feel like it's not gonna really help. And we just might as well just go along with this dance, and I got my problems, you got your problems, and we'll just live with them. That's not healthy. That's toxic in itself. If you think that you're having a toxic relationship because you guys are arguing, just imagine when you're not talking. That's worse. At least when you're arguing, at least someone is saying something that's truthful, no matter how harsh it may sound. But if you're choosing not to talk about your hurt, if you're not choosing to talk about your pain, if you're not choosing to talk about the discomfort that you're feeling, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing your relationship a disservice and your significant other a disservice. Let's put it this way. If you see something about your significant other that is hurting your relationship or hurting them, and you're not talking about it, you're not helping them. You could have been that person to change that person's perspective, to change that person's outlook, to have them have their eyes open to something that maybe they haven't really realized about themselves, or there's something that they're just constantly ignoring because they think that they could do no wrong. I'm not saying that you're their savior, but I am saying that you can open the doors to something that they may have had closed for a long time. But you never know unless you talk about it. That's the biggest thing that's hurting relationships because you choose to deal with your hurt and pain by yourself instead of you bringing it to the table. instead of you talking about the pressures that you're feeling. And before we go any further, I do want to talk about pressures in itself. You know, when I talk about pressures, it can be anything. It's something as simple as disagreements, as I'm giving examples to, or to something as big as infidelity. These pressures are real. These pressures are existent, and you don't want to have a point where the pressures are too big to the point that it explodes and explodes to the point where there's nothing that can be redeemed for the relationship, and you're not wanting to step back into the relationship because you kept letting these small little things grow and grow and grow and grow till it exploded and exploded, and you don't even feel any value in that relationship anymore. This could be with your significant other. This could be with a friend. This could be with a family member. This could be with anyone that you choose to commit to a communication or dialogue with. Even a boss. Excuse me. Even a boss. A boss can either you can explode on your boss because of the point that they might do some simple microaggressions. They may be doing something that you don't like, but you kept it inside and you decided to I'll deal with it with myself because he's my boss, or I'm afraid to step up and express how I feel because it might go the wrong way. I'm saying it might. It very might as well. It very might get to the point where it may jeopardize your job, or it might jeopardize a relationship, and the person that you are expressing yourself to may not be receptive of it. But it is better for you to express yourself than to keep this stuff inside, because you're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself from the value that you have. You are special. So you have to understand that your self worth matters too. You have to realize that you have that value within you, that if one person doesn't see it, another person definitely will. And because you're settling for a relationship because it feels comfortable, because it's routine, because it's something that you're used to, you are not only diminishing who you are as a person, but you're allowing these pressures to build where they don't have to build. So if you're in that situation where, hey, you're feeling hurt inside, you're feeling pain inside, you're feeling resentment towards your significant other or a friend or family or whatever it may be, and you decide to get the courage to express yourself, and that person's not receptive, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to say, hey, this relationship was not for me. This relationship, I gave my all to this relationship, and the pressure is too much. I know if I stay in this relationship, it's gonna hurt me. So I might as well step out of it and end it and find someone else that sees my value. You do not need to have this pressure in your life. You do not need to have this pressure in your life. I say it again. You do not need to have this pressure in your life if you do not see the worth in the relationship. If you don't see the worth in the relationship any longer, and your significant other, your friend, whatever it may be, they're not fighting for you anymore. They're not fighting for the relationship anymore. It's time to step away from it. Step away from it and find someone that is actually willing to see you for who you are, the person that is special and is worth to fight for. Simple as that. So, if you are dealing with these relationship pressures and you need help and you're just tired of it, go to my website, yourcolabcoach.com. You can message me. You could do the relationship checklist. You can see my coaching package to see if we're a good fit for each other. In the meantime, follow me on Facebook, Colab Coaching. Follow me on Instagram, Colab Coaching. All my videos on my series or on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Just type in Colab Coaching. You'll find me. Share this with anyone that is struggling with these relationship pressures and they need help. I promise you, there are solutions out there. Communication is just the first step. So, thank you so much for watching. Be safe out there. Have a wonderful day.